T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978, McFarlane Toys, My Hero Academia, Ochako, Uraraka. I hope I said that right. Let me get this out of the way right now because I'm pretty sure somebody just clicked on this video just to complain. I'm going to get the elephant out of the way right away. Here is a picture of Uraraka's face. The problem with this figure is her eyes. She has a glossed over, like dazed, looking off into the distance, daydreaming or zoned out face. Why? Because they spread her irises out too far. They should have been more centered. Here's a side-by-side picture right here. And here is just the centered picture that I like photoshopped together so you can see it separately. Why I'm doing all these separately and together is because I showed somebody and they were like, they don't know the difference. But look at this face right here and tell me, does this look more like she's looking directly at you or is she still stoned out her mind? But anywho, here is the packaging where the irises are closer together, which makes more sense. And here are some of the other figures in the wave that she came out in. But anywho, besides the face, the actual body, the articulation, the design of everything, I am a big fan of it. The coloration is on point. The only thing off about the colorization, the joint right here is not painted. So you probably can't tell in this video, but it is like just a regular plastic flesh tone joint, but our hand is painted. So they don't look right when you really look at it, because it's you can see it right here. It's a different color. But before we get into the articulation and whatnot, while I have her up close, let's just look at the details. I like the hair. The hair is kind of sculpted to look multi-layered and whatnot. So I like that. Also, another thing, these little red circles on her cheek should have been a little bit higher up instead of right beside the mouth. But look at that. This isn't just drawn on, that's actually sculpted in there. I like how this came out. And this is one of the $20 figures. Typically, the $20 figures don't have such great paint where this came out like looking like that. But check out the detail. And the designers, the anime designers, look at how that's shaped right there. Does that make you think of something? But, yeah. Peg holes at the bottom of the feet, because she does come with a My Hero stand right here, where you could plug that into her foot, or they have this optional flight stand, because her quirk is 0 gravity. This clamp it's the same thing that comes with all of the McFarlane figures that come with a stand. It has like ratchets in this area and right there, so you could just wrap this around herself, or you can wrap it around her leg. Other accessories that she comes with is 2 optional hands. And before I do that, this little grippy hand, that Lord knows why they gave her this little grippy hand. It's a cool option to have your characters be able to hold things, but it's very unnecessary at the end of the day for this particular character. But you see they did paint the little pink things on her fingertips that help her with her quirk. For people new to action figures, to change the hands out, you just pull it off right there. And instead of the fist and that grippy hand, she comes with these 2 hands. Sort of like freaking prayer hands. Because she was known to put the hands together like this while controlling her powers. But because she can get a little sassy in her posing, you can do things like this, which is cool. I mean, from some angles, this isn't such a problem, but if they ever rerun this this wave right here and put her out again, they definitely need to make those irises closer together to make this face not look so crazy. But outside of that, she also has an optional mask that she can wear. So this is the back of the head, so they try to accommodate for flight and whatnot by giving her a lot of range on that long double ball post. But you stick the head up in there. There is a groove to accommodate the square thing on the back of her head, like this right here. And now she's wearing the mask, so you can put her in all types of flight poses and whatnot as you see fit. And with the mask on, maybe it can blur out or obscure her crazy eyes. And I don't think I mentioned it, but she does have those little pink things on these fingertips on this hand. But articulation, the neck, because of that double ball post, can shift back and forth. She can look down, look a little bit more down without this helmet on, but she can also look up. So you can shift this to your needs and whatnot. I pulled her head out of the daggone neck socket. But she also has a ball down here, and so the neck bends and twists and tilts with that as well. She has the ball joint with the post going into the shoulder, so you can still do like the fake butterfly action right there, like going up and down, but it is very stiff. In fact, this doesn't seem to want to friggin' move. So yeah, you get the hinge for outward. You can rotate, swivel right there over top of this, the double jointed elbows, universal joints, and the wrist to do whatever you need her to do with that. It's a bit limited due to this thing right here around her wrist. You get a bunch of upper diaphragm, side tilts, a lot of side tilts, and then you get the lower abdominal joint that can go back some. Well, the more I do it, it goes back a lot. And it comes forward. So, yeah. And then you get side tilts and whatnot. Now, here's where she's a little bit hindered. The legs do go out very far. They kick up, but this thing around her waist definitely hinders things. In her joints and her legs, let me just show you. They're different than the typical McFarlane. It's a regular ball joint right there. And this thing right here, this little socket, I guess that would swivel in there, but I don't think it swivels in there. So I think she's designed just like the DC Multiverse animated figures. You get this much range in the knee and nothing in the ankle. I don't think because they don't want to break up this sculpt and the show it looks like this, unless they make it soft and rubbery and put a little joint under there, that's what it's going to look like for every version of her. Now let me get some size comparisons. Alright, this I guess would be the most important comparison right here. They are 7-inch action figures. I don't know. I know Deku is supposed to be taller than her. I'm not sure once she put on these heels, is he still taller than her? But they're pretty much looking at each other eye to eye. Here's me adding 2 other 7-inch action figures and a Marvel Legends to let you see that they are greatly scaling above what they should be if you want them to fit in with your 6-inch action figures. Go with Figma. Figma makes these, or they're coming out with them eventually. Now with all that out of the way, you saw earlier today that I reviewed this thing right here. Well, unfortunately for that thing, I had to carve her up because I bought it for a certain reason. First I chopped off the head, and then I was like, you know what? It would look better if I had these hands. Then I cut the hands off. So basically using a Dremel, I had to cut her neck peg off, like clean off. I heated up her hair, took the hair off, cut off the neck peg, and then I drilled inside of there, and all the way up in there, it is hollow. So then I had to stuff something in there. Shout out to Robo from the Fwoosh for showing off that this head was capable of scaling with this body. And shout out to Life of Brock. He does a whole bunch of customs and whatnot. He suggested this Dremel tool that I got, and now I finally got to be able to use it. And with this, I sawed off the wrist, and I used one of the the pointy tools that I just stuck a hole straight in there as deep as I could. And as luck would have it, I thought it wouldn't work right because these hands are more slender than the ones you get, but made the hole big enough and they fit right in there. So there we are. One final shout out. A Dog suggested that I use Play-Doh. I was already thinking that, but he said it. Put Play-Doh in there so the ball joint wouldn't be rattling around in there because it was loose. But one thing to note, you see how far up the ball post is in there? It definitely needs to touch the top of the inside of her head cavity if you want this to work right. But so if you're stuffing something in there, definitely know that. But now she has a better looking head sculpt. She has the hands to go with this pose right here. And now I have more options as far as head. So here's my plea to McFarlane Toys. I don't know how much extra it would cost. I mean, they already did this with Deku. Deku had 2 face options and it had different hand options. Both hands were really good options. This hand right here, why? And she had this little tiny fist that I don't even know if it's in scale with her body. I feel like that with all the hands with McFarlane figures sometimes. But these hands, okay, I got you. And some hands like this would be great. And optional faces for everybody. Like, I don't like always having like a blank, goofy stare. I mean, for some characters, it doesn't matter, some figures. But options are great. With dynamic hands and stuff like this, it really gives you way more options to do whatever. And it still turns out looking good in my opinion. But yeah, that first face is doofy. Unless I can figure out something to do or some way to adjust these eyes, I probably won't even be using this face anymore. I wish I could paint. I would just paint over the eyes and whatnot. But I can't really. One thing I'm thinking of is getting some white adhesive paper and putting that over top of it. Or maybe printing the eyes out. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I could print the eyes out and then affix it over top of this. But I don't know. Anywho, without this face, good figure, nice posability, nice paintwork and whatnot. So it's a good figure, but that face just throws everything out the window for me because it looks so goofy. But with my changes I just did, I really, really like her. I'm not a master customizer, but I tried to shave down on the excess sculpting she had because her wrists were attached to try to make this look better. But you still have access to do everything you would do with the other hands. This is what it looks like on this side. So, I mean, if you're going to be using these hands, most likely you're going to have them up anyway. And they are a lighter skin tone, just like this, than that peg right there. But it's barely noticeable. Here she is with these hands in this head. And here's an example pose with the fist and her dynamic hand. Of her maybe trying to do like a flying punch or something like that. But I have her on a Bandai Tamashii stage act stand that actually pegs into the bottom of her foot. perfectly. If you don't want to use this stand, which will be very visible around her leg or waist. So I like having other options. But yeah, like I said, awesome figure. Just the face is messed up, and in this case I was able to use this Banpresto statue to give her a replacement option, so I like it. If you like this video, don't leave without clicking the like button and subscribing and whatnot. I'm gonna have more videos. If you want to see this unbutchered statue, I'm gonna have a link in the description and a link at the end of this video, so you can see what it looks like in all its glory and hear my thoughts on it. It was uploaded earlier today, but you may have missed it. Anywho, thank y'all for watching this. Until next time, T-Man 978 out of here. Click the videos, click the videos, baby, click the videos. You should really click these videos, click the videos, click those videos, baby, click the videos. You really should click those videos, click that shit.